Okay, so welcome to Build Your Own Precon, where I've got this tiny small problem. It's that I built this precon a couple days ago, and the price went up to $45.08. So it's not really like budget anymore. You know, it's not that $45 budget, and that's what you guys are looking for, I'm assuming. So here is Kibo Uktabi Prince, and I'm just gonna ask you guys to you cut the 8 cents where you want. I'm not really sure. So, he can be tapped to create a banana, where each player creates banana, which can be sacrificed to add red or green and gains 2 life. So, whenever an opponent puts an artifact into the graveyard from the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on each ape and monkey, and whenever it attacks, defending player sacrifices an artifact. So, this is supposed to be like giving your opponents bananas, treasures, making your monkeys get big. 3 mana 2/2 is a little bit understated, however, it works. So, starting off, we've got Gorilla Shaman, so you can pay 1 and destroy a 0 mana artifact like a treasure, and just rack up +1/+1 counters from Kibo. You can destroy bigger artifacts too. It's also an ape, so it fits in perfectly. Kird Ape, the deck is Gruul, so it is an ape, and it comes out to be like a 1 mana 2/3, so it works. Simian Sling and Tree Monkey are just in because they're monkeys. Duskshell Crawler will give your +1/+1 counter creatures trample, which Kibo is going to be putting counters on all your creatures. Goblin Anarchomancer is going to make your spells cost less. Hammer Mage can destroy all artifacts with mana cost X or less. Again, you can just name 0 and destroy all clues, food, treasure, that kind of stuff, if that's what you're going with. Or you can go 2, wipe out all mana rocks, 3, wipe out all mana rocks, and it's going to make everything else get really big from Kibo. Kavu Predator is up next, so if an opponent does choose to sacrifice their banana, they're going to gain 2 life. Kavu Predator will get +1/+1. It'll get 2 +1/+1 counters every time they sack a banana. So it's going to partially de-incentivize them, however, it'll make Kavu Predator get big. Marching Duodrone will make each player create treasure, which Kibo can use. Opponents sacrifice it, gain +1/+1 counters. Sardian Avenger is just like a total hate piece. So if each opponent's getting a banana, whenever it attacks, it'll get +X/+X for each of those bananas. So you tap Kibo once, it gets +3/+0. He's going to get really big, he's going to swing in, he's got first strike, trample. It's a bit of an alternate win con. And then whenever an opponent sacrifices one of their artifacts, he'll deal 1 damage to them. So overall, pretty strong. Scrounging Bandar is just in because it's a low value, low mana cost, low price monkey. Yavimaya Steelcrusher can destroy artifacts, which can help. It's also just a monkey. Zodiac Monkey is a monkey. Gorilla Pack is monkeys. Kami of Whispering Hopes. So whenever 1 or more counters would be put on a permanent you control, that many +1 are put on it instead. So this makes every Kibo trigger 2 +1/+1 counters. So your board's going to get really huge. It's kind of like a cheaper in price hidden scales effect. And then it can also be tapped for mana. Khenra Charioteer is going to give your apes trample. Pain Distributor will give your opponent's treasure and then deal damage to them whenever they sacrifice it. Again, it's just more artifacts for them to sack. Quicksmith Genius, so you'll be able to draw and discard whenever you create an artifact. Simian Spirit Guide can help ramp things out early, but it is also just a monkey. Taurean Mauler is a shapeshifter, which is also a monkey. Uktabi Orangutan destroys an artifact, which helps with Kibo's plan. It's a monkey. And then, I would love to give you guys the original printing. However, that's $1.05. So for budget reasons, And I think Kibo, is that Kibo on it? Yeah, I think that's Kibo on it. So, it's in character. It's in character. That's important. That's always been super important in our decks. Armorcraft Judge draws for each +1/+1 counter, or each creature with a +1/+1 counter. So your monkeys will get big, and she'll draw you and help you refill your hand. Beast Whisper, because the deck has so many creatures, is going to help refill your hand. Jolene will help your opponents create treasure. which, they sacrifice, you get value from. Thundering Raiju will deal damage based on the number of modified creatures. All your monkeys will be modified. Towering Gibbon is a big threat. Silverback Elder is an ape. Towering Gibbon is also an ape. And then it can also destroy artifacts and enchantments, which is part of Kibo's plan. Silverback Shaman is an ape. Grun is an ape. Hooting Mandrills is an ape. Kogla and Yidaro can destroy artifacts and enchantments when you sacrifice them, or when you discard them. It can also fight things, and Kogla can destroy artifacts or enchantments. They're also apes, so it just goes into the same plan. Soul Ring is probably where the price went up, because this used to be $1.10. But Soul Ring is a great mana rock. Arcane Signet. Bucknerd's Everfull Purse will help your opponents create more treasures for Kibo to take advantage of. Fire Diamond, Gruul Signet, Moss Diamond, Talisman of Impulse are all ramp. Lifecrafter's Bestiary is going to help you draw cards. Magnetic Mine will deal damage whenever an opponent sacrifices an artifact. Tamio's Safekeeping is protection. Abrade is removal. Lull can be cycled, which is part of the reason it's in here. It's cheap. It was helping fill up the budget because I had space but not a lot of budget left. But it'll prevent combat damage too, which is good. Thrill is draw. Beast Within is removal. Inspiring Call is draw. Fast and Furious is draw and removal. Vandal Blast is going to be removing all the artifacts, which can help Kibo get huge. Rampant Growth is ramp. Tormenting Voice is draw. Seize the Spoils is draw. Fade from History will destroy all artifacts, which helps Kibo. Overwhelming Stampede is just another way for you to win. Structural Assault destroys all artifacts. Blasphemous Act is removal. And theoretically, if you're lucky, you could get Kibo and the monkey army big enough to get around Blasphemous Act. Curse of Opulence will help opponents create gold, and you create gold, which Kibo will benefit from. Arnie Slays the Troll is kind of removal, because you can have things fight. Zetessan Training gives Trample, which is really good, and draws a card. Ancient Runes will make it so that an opponent loses life if they have artifacts, so this makes them want to sacrifice artifacts or else they keep losing life, which when they do that, then Kibo punishes them or anything else that is in the deck. Send to Avernus creates a lot of treasure. Viridian Revels will benefit off of your opponent's sacking stuff. Cinderglade, Command Tower, Forest, Game Trail, Gruul Turf, Kaposin Forest, Mossfire Valley, Mountain, Rockfell Vale, Sheltered Thicket, Temple of Abandon are the lands. Overall, it's got a pretty good mana base. It's consistent. I've actually played this one IRL. I'd suggest you try it out.